What is up, everyone? So we have this MS-151TC little chainsaw here, and if you don't want to hear the story of how I got it, then go to this time. But more or less, that's the reason why you clicked on it. Mistakes purchasing a used chainsaw, and it's a big mistake, unfortunately, for this individual. So the owner of this found it on Marketplace for like $100. He knows that this is a pretty expensive saw, so he kind of jumped on a deal. And the listing said the following: ran when I put it away. It's been sitting on my shelf for a couple years. Doesn't want to start. $100. Take it. You know, technically that's a very reassuring post, especially hearing that it was probably running when he put it away. So he jumped at the deal, $100. He then went to his local repair shop, because he lives about 45 minutes away from me, and they quote him $250 to replace a carburetor. So he asked them how much that carburetor was and bought it brand new, steel. And he kind of sat on it for a little bit of time. That was in the springtime. It's now like July, and he didn't want to deal with it, but he now needs the saw. So he decided to call me up, brought it over to me, said, how much to replace the carb if I give you one? I said, like $30-$40, because this can be a giant pain. And so he's like, perfect, better than the $150 than the other shop was going to charge him, because it would take me like 10 minutes, assuming that it's only the lines, and it's only the carb. But there's anything else, it's going to be more, obviously. He's like, I understand that, no problem. So brings it over. I was about to install the carb, hence the reason why I took off the dirty air filter and everything else. And I asked him why he just got the carb. He told me that. So now we're back. I then started to install the carb, but before I did, I pulled on it, and it basically... I am going to be showing you some tips on buying used 2-cycle equipment, so stay tuned to the end. But the chainsaw basically just does this. Prime it. It primes. I mean, the power bulb isn't cracked. Nothing's not leaking. Nothing weird. Everything moves like it should. So you go to start. I've already done this, so I'm not going to turn on choke. But does this. No matter what you do. In fact, let's hold down the trigger. Let's go to normal run position. Hold it down. And he instantly thought it was a carb. I was like, okay. I mean, it would make sense, right? But then I did this. Now, I want to show you something. No foolery here. It's just me holding it with my pinky. I can pick it up. It's very lightweight saw. I mean, limbs primarily. But look at this. That's not good. For those of you who don't know what I just did, I held the handle and I let go of the saw. If it was a big, heavy saw, then I could expect it to go down a few clicks and all the way to the bottom of the line. That wouldn't be a problem. This saw, though, I should very well be able to just pick it up, and it might go down eventually, but it's going to be a very long eventually. That was not long at all. It started to go down immediately. So that brought me to the next item that I was going to do. Now, for this saw, I'm not going to redo it because it's just a giant pain to have to do it again. But there's 2 access ports right here. However your saw is, or the saw in question is, look at how you take the muffler off. The muffler is right here. The exhaust gases, I don't even know where it goes. Out. Maybe out here. Yeah, out here. Yeah, so it comes out there, and you take the muffler off, look inside of the cylinder, so you can see the piston, the side of the piston. If you see any marks on there, it should be smooth. If you see any marks like lines, don't. It's trash. Now, if you see a line, it's probably fine. if you see multiple lines, and if you can even reach your finger in there and have like a nail, and if your nail can feel the line, that's bad. If it doesn't feel like anything, maybe just discoloration, that's fine. But this one had multiple lines, deep gouges. I can literally see the light reflecting off the side of the gouge. That's bad. So unfortunately for this individual, $100 for the saw, $100 for the carb, $200, and now it's going to need at the minimum a new piston and rings, more likely than not a new cylinder, piston, and rings. And at that point in time, it's just, in particular, it's really hard to kind of find parts for that are not genuine, and they're expensive. I think I found one on the internet for like $180, and that's for the piston and cylinder and rings. So at that point in time, you're spending $200 on the parts so far, and practically $200 more for this saw. Well, yes, I understand they're expensive, but it's a used saw, and you're having to pay me to do it, or you if you want to do it by yourself, which is why you should subscribe so you can save that money. But it's not worth it. So unfortunately for this individual, this saw is toast, more or less, and it's just good for parts. And even then, some of those parts aren't even good. There's cracks here. I don't know why, but this doesn't look like a normal handle. Maybe someone replaced it at one point. And yeah, so not good for this individual. Now, for the people who just wanted to see the tips, then here are the tips for the buying a used 2-cycle equipment. Now, before we continue with those, I want to explain why, in particular, you need to pay attention to this with chainsaws. Chainsaws, unlike leaf blowers, unlike weed eaters, or anything like that, will have almost no load on them. Well, chainsaws will have a lot of load as soon as you start cutting, but other items, they usually don't have a lot of load. So when you first start them, you shouldn't, but you could start using them relatively quickly. Chainsaws, you should never do that. Most people, this is how they get in trouble, will start their saw and just rev it, start cutting on a cold engine. That's not good. The reason why is on the piston, this is not for a 2-cycle, by the way, but on the piston, especially for a 2-cycle, there's cool fuel air mixture on one side and hot exhaust gases on the other. This side is going to experience a lot more of a thermal expansion at a rapid rate than this side will, and eventually those rings will start to gouge, or maybe not necessarily gouge, but the piston itself will start to create issues. It will start to score. It will have a lot of problems because it's just being used when it's cold, and the piston hasn't, or the whole engine really hasn't had time to really heat up adequately. One side's cold, the other side's not. So that causes the issue. What you should do is, one, if the 2-cycle equipment works and works well, don't even bother. You can go ahead and just buy it. No issue there. But if you need to actually repair it, and especially, like I said, for a chainsaw, do the trick with the pull cord. If it's a big saw, expect it to fall a little bit. But if it's a small saw like this, it shouldn't fall hardly at all, if at all. And in my opinion, if you're buying a non-working chainsaw, the person should be allowing you to, especially for $100, taking a look at the piston by removing the muffler. I mean, on most chainsaws, the muffler is out in the open, and as long as you just go there with some minor tools, if it's a steel, then you're definitely going to want to take some of these. If it would focus, which I'm sure it won't. Here we go. Obviously, this is well used, but take a set and, yeah, take an impact driver, take the screws out, pull the muffler off, and then take a look at the piston. If it's not running. If it's running, then yet again, don't worry about that. But what you don't want to see is any scrapes, because if you do, or scores, if you do, it's trash. Or if you were expecting that, or if you're okay with the repair or the bill for that, then go right ahead and buy it. Maybe you're just using it to buy the recoil, I don't know. But if you're expecting to have a decent working saw for little to no money, basically just clean the carb, don't buy it at that point. So you don't want to be like this unfortunate individual who's going to have to just eat $200 because there's really no point to fixing this. If it's a leaf blower, then, or a weed eater or anything like that, it's probably fine as long as it has compression. This did have compression, but not nearly that much, as we saw. But those machines rarely have this problem because they, like I said, have little to no load on them, even when they're running. They'll just be running very quickly, and that generally is not going to be as much of a problem than starting a chainsaw cold and then just start going to town on a tree or a limb or whatever you're cutting. That is the problem. It's with chainsaws. That happens so often. That's why, especially for a chainsaw, I'm going to say it again, if you are buying it non-running, look at the piston. So this is a real quick video. Unfortunately, we're not able to fix this machine, but hopefully you have a little bit of information to help prevent you from being in this person's situation, and you can save yourself some money. So if this helped you out, leave a thumbs up. It definitely helps me out. Leave a comment, definitely subscribe. We do a lot of these videos, and I hopefully will get to a machine that you will be able to repair, so you don't know until you subscribe. Have a good night.